So in this lesson, I'm going to be breaking down how to dribble under pressure. So if you find yourself always losing the ball when your back's towards goal, or when you're really pressured with limited space, this lesson should be able to help you out. So there's two key principles that we want to pay attention to that's going to make all the difference. And that's using quick touches to move and manipulate the football. And the second is creating separation between you and the defender, which is very important. And so if you understand and apply these two things, you'll instantly feel more confident on the ball and you'll have more of a chance of escaping pressure. Now, before I explain these key principles, it's important to understand why players lose the ball in the first place. And the biggest reason is panic. When a defender presses you aggressively, a lot of players tend to rush their touches, their decisions are getting rushed, and they end up giving the ball away without actually being tackled. And so you want to make sure that you're not panicking and you're staying calm on the football. Of course, that's easier said than done, but I find the best way to stay more confident and build that calmness on the ball is to first improve your ability on the football. That's very important. And then two is to put yourself in those pressure situations to get more comfortable over time. And then another common mistake is receiving the football too square, or just being too square in general with the ball, especially when a defender's behind you. If you're receiving the ball with your body completely square to the pitch, you limit your options. You can't see pressure coming from behind you. You can't really protect the ball properly as well. And you just give the defender an easy angle to step in and tackle you. And so those are a few things as to why players often lose the ball. But now let's go over and talk about what we can do to avoid these things. And the first key point when it comes to dribbling under pressure, like we mentioned at the start, is using quick touches to move and manipulate the football. Now, using quick touches doesn't mean rushing. It just means soft, controlled, frequent touches that keep the ball close to your feet. When you use small, quick touches, you keep the ball more under control. You can change direction more quicker, and defenders won't necessarily want to dive in because you're shifting and manipulating the ball very quickly. The moment your touch is too big or you lose control, that's when they commit. But if your touches are quick, very quick and sharp and close, defenders become more hesitant and they'll start to give you a bit more space on the pitch. And so when you're under pressure, especially if it's pressure from behind you, think less about beating the opponent straight away and more about moving the ball into different spaces. Now, the second key point that we mentioned earlier is creating separation between you and the defender or the opponent. Now, there's two main ways we want to do this. The first is by physically feeding the opponent. So when a defender is close, you should be aware of where they are through body contact. You want to use your arms, you want to lower your center of gravity and keep your body between the defender and the football. A player that was very good at doing this was Eden Hazard. He would almost always use his body as separation between the ball and the opponent, as well as his quick feet and agility. And so this made him very difficult for defenders to tackle him cleanly. Now, the second way to create separation is by using agility to confuse the defender. And this basically means doing small movements, so things like shoulder drops, body feints, anything where you can make the defender think you're going one way, but then escaping the other way. And this can be simple things as well, things like a fake shot or a fake pass, a Cruyff turn, because really and truly, we just want to get the opponent to pause for a second or even half a second, and then that's when we can create separation and then accelerate away. And going back to Eden Hazard again, not only was he good at using his body as separation, but he also was very good at using his agility and balance to separate himself from opponents. And so that's what made him so successful when it came to avoiding pressure and being pressure. And so just to recap, first you want to use quick touches to keep the ball close and unpredictable. This stops defenders from diving in and gives you a bit of control in certain situations, which is good. And then second is creating separation, either by feeding the opponent and protecting the football, or by using your agility to confuse opponents and create space. And I would say if you're more of a smaller, agile player, you can lean more to using your agility more. And then obviously if you're a stronger, bigger player, then you can shield the ball better. But then again, there's no reason why you can't do both. You can be strong and still have agility. So work on both things will help you be an overall better player. And so yeah, if you just combine these two things, pressure stops feeling stressful, and you can actually be a really cool advantage because defenders then start to get frustrated. This then makes them overcommit, and then that's where you can take control of most situations when it comes to pressure. And so if you want to improve your dribbling under pressure, just remember to stay calm, trust your touches, and focus on creating space and separation. Those would be the main things I would focus on if you're struggling to dribble under pressure. And so if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like. I have a football training community on school where I have a full 5-part dribbling program. If you want to check it out, if dribbling is something you struggle with, I will be adding more programs to the learning section if you want to have a look, but it is the first link in the description if you want to check it out. But that's pretty much it for this lesson, and I'll see you next time.